Welcome to Unravel the Threads, the podcast where we take a single thread and follow it into the heart of a community, uncovering its stories, culture, and the ties that bind us together. Today, we're exploring the vibrant neighborhood of Woodside, Queens, a place that tells the story of immigration, resilience, and shared humanity. Nestled in western Queens, Woodside might appear, at first glance, like a typical New York neighborhood, bustling streets, eclectic shops, and a mix of old and new. But beneath its surface is a rich tapestry of history and culture waiting to be unraveled. From its origins as marshy farmland to its transformation into one of the most diverse communities in New York City, Woodside is a neighborhood that truly embodies the spirit of connection. So let's start with the first thread, history. Woodside's story begins centuries ago, long before skyscrapers and subway lines. Originally inhabited by the Lenape people, the land was part of a vast natural landscape rich in resources. In the 17th century, Dutch settlers arrived, followed by English colonists, who named the area part of the town of Newtown. Back then, it was a marshy, rural area, ideal for farming but prone to flooding. Fast forward to the 19th century, and Woodside's fortunes began to change. The Long Island Railroad, LIRR, arrived in the mid-1800s, transforming Woodside into a suburban retreat. Wealthy Manhattanites saw it as an escape from the chaos of the city. But it wasn't just the wealthy who moved in. The neighborhood became a haven for Irish immigrants who fled poverty and political strife in their homeland. By the late 19th century, Woodside was affectionately known as an Irish village, with pubs, churches, and community centers reflecting its immigrant identity. Today, many of those early Irish roots remain, but Woodside has grown into something even more extraordinary, a hub of global diversity. Walk down any street in Woodside, and you'll encounter a cultural mosaic like no other. Over half of Woodside's residents are immigrants, with roots stretching across the globe. According to recent data, the neighborhood is home to a population that is 39% Hispanic or Latino, 37% Asian, and 20% white, non-Hispanic. Among these cultural threads, one stands out, Little Manila. Along Roosevelt Avenue, between 63rd and 71st Streets, lies a vibrant enclave of Filipino culture. Filipino restaurants like Kabayan, bakeries like Red Ribbon Bake Shop, and specialty stores offer a taste of the Philippines. Every year, Filipino-American communities celebrate their heritage here with festivals and parades, turning Woodside into a living, breathing celebration of Filipino culture. But the Filipino community is just one of many. Walk a few blocks, and you'll find Latin American eateries serving up pupusas and tacos, Korean barbecue restaurants, and Irish pubs that have stood for decades. Woodside is a culinary adventure waiting to be explored, with each dish telling a story of migration and adaptation. Woodside's landmarks tell their own stories of community and connection. One of the most notable is St. Sebastian's Church, established in 1894. For over a century, the church has been more than a place of worship. It's been a cornerstone of the community, hosting events, supporting local families, and fostering a sense of belonging. Another key landmark is Doughboy Park, which features a statue commemorating local soldiers who served in World War I. The park is a reminder of the sacrifices made by the community and the deep ties that connect Woodside to the broader history of the United States. But landmarks in Woodside aren't just historical. They're living, breathing parts of the neighborhood. The Woodside Farmers Market, for example, brings together local vendors and residents, showcasing the best of Queens' culinary and agricultural diversity. It's a gathering place that reflects the neighborhood's spirit of collaboration and mutual support. Beyond its history and cultural highlights, Woodside is defined by its people. The neighborhood thrives on small businesses, mom-and-pop shops, family-run restaurants, and independent stores that serve as lifelines for the community. From the friendly banter at a corner deli to the crowded tables of a beloved diner, Woodside's charm lies in its human connections. Economically, Woodside strikes a balance between opportunity and accessibility. The median household income is around $84,270, slightly above the citywide median, but the neighborhood remains relatively affordable compared to many other parts of New York City. This accessibility makes it a popular choice for families, young professionals, and longtime residents alike. So what makes Woodside truly special? It's not just its diversity, history, or landmarks, it's the way all these threads come together. Woodside is a place where past and present coexist, where stories are passed down through generations, and where new narratives are written every day. It's a neighborhood that reminds us of the power of connection, the connections between cultures, between neighbors, and between the many threads that make up the human experience. As we wrap up this episode, I encourage you to think about the threads in your own life. How do your personal experiences connect to those around you? What stories might be waiting to be unraveled in your own community? Woodside is just one example of how neighborhoods can tell us so much about who we are and where we come from. It's a reminder that no thread exists in isolation. Every single one is part of a larger tapestry. Thank you for joining me today on Unravel the Threads. If you have your own stories about Woodside, or if you'd like to share insights about your neighborhood, reach out to us on social media or through our website. Let's keep unraveling these threads together.